the law. Yeah, there's laws. You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a crazy squatter story coming out of Queens, New York City. Now, I've covered quite a few squatter stories, mostly out of the Atlanta, Georgia area, where the squatters move in their stuff, move out the homeowner's stuff, and it's a whole big mess. You got to go to court. You got to get an eviction, and it's to the point where nothing really gets done until the news gets involved. And in this case, the news were involved. The news were rolling as the police showed up to confront the squatter. But unfortunately, the homeowner wound up getting arrested and put into a cop car and taken away for simply trying to reclaim her own $1 million home. Now, before we go any further, let's get into the actual video. We're going to see the confrontation with the squatter and the homeowner and the police. We're going to see the arrest. We're going to hear from the squatter. And if you want to see the entire video without my commentary, link, as always, will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
I don't know the law. Yeah, there's laws. You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
How about that? A squatter standoff. A property owner confronts a group of people she says moved into her $1 million home in Queens, and our cameras were rolling as dozens of officers showed up.
I mean, really, look, if somebody breaks in your house and they squat, you shouldn't have to go through all these changes to get them out of your house. It should be simple as you're invading my home, you broken into my home. I should be able to use whatever kind of force necessary to get you out. That's what I think, but maybe the law is not on my side. Apparently in New York City it's not, but let's keep on going.
Several people were taken away in handcuffs, and one of those arrested may surprise you.
Investigative reporter Dan Krauth joins us now with more on what happened. Tell us, Dan.
Well, this is a very big growing problem. I received dozens of tips from viewers about this in just the past week. I went to do what I thought was going to be a routine interview. Instead, we capture what police and property owners are dealing with on a daily basis.
I have video of you. Who
are these people? So as you can see, the guy right here pointing to the camera, that's a squatter. The guy in the little blue vest, you got the officer right there, and then you have the homeowner right there holding the camera on the left-hand side of the screen.
That's the situation, but they're in my house, man. Relax. No.
To understand how this day ended,
We need the police right away.
with multiple 911 calls and arrests, we have to start at the beginning.
Adele, the hardest question is, how do you say your name?
We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it.
No, he locked it.
But she's been locked out. She claims squatters moved in on February 6th and refused to leave.
What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our
So you got the one guy that was in there. Maybe that's his wife, girlfriend, sister, cousin, who knows?
interview, a woman showed up.
What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house? Why are you here?
She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found two men.
How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmiths. I didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors and...
It's her house. Like, imagine having to explain that you didn't come into your own house illegally. Look, it's my house. I could be able to come. Like, I come into my house whenever I want to come into my house. It's my house. It's mine. It belongs to me. It's not anyone else's. I come into my house when I want to come into my house. Now, somebody could say, well, you got tenants. I don't have any tenants. They broke into my house and they're squatters. Why do they have any kind of rights to my house whatsoever?
Looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs.
They got one out.
And escorted the other guy off the property.
Now you're afraid to come out.
I'm not coming out. This house is empty. This is my home. My locksmith is on the corner waiting to change my locks. And it's not fair. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
How you doing?
Minutes later, a locksmith showed up. But police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said to them, let him take me to court. the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed,
That's not going on.
the man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this?
So the guy literally barged into the home. Apparently, after the locksmith left, maybe the door wasn't all the way closed. Maybe it was open. They're doing their interview, whatever. He pulls up and barges right in the house. And really, isn't that called breaking and entering? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. If you guys can enlighten me, please let me know in the comments. I know the law may be something different in New York City or in other parts of the country as far as squatters' rights. But at a certain point, let's just zoom out. If this is not your home, you don't have an actual lease, you don't have a real right to it, and you just barge in, isn't that called breaking and entering?
This guy just literally broke down my door, broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
And so did you.
Ma'am.
You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. We need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue. And by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police.
If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own this.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes.
This guy's name is Brian Rodriguez.
But then once again, you should know how the law works.
Imagine the audacity. A squatter talking about, hey, learn how the effing law works, huh? How about it?
I do know how it works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show it.
Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it.
He didn't show me a lease.
This is a bill.
A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
Being arrested.
For what?
For being
So then she handed over the keys to who? Who should give the keys to just now? Was that an officer?
Documentation.
Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting
So I'm not sure who this is right here in this coat. That might be one of the so-called tenants, the squatters. She's giving the keys that she just had made because a locksmith came, and now she's being arrested for simply protecting her own home.
arrested right now?
being arrested.
For what?
For being
in my own home.
And where's your lease?
She's fighting the house. It's not her house anymore.
My deed
That's
is
what was
current
told
and
her.
legal.
Arrested for unlawful eviction. She changed the locks on a man who claims he lives there.
So how does this all end then? When do you leave?
The way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court, and we deal with the judge in court. It's that simple.
It's not that simple. It's a long process. Evictions can take close to 2 years to complete.
2 years. That's totally crazy. So yeah, that's what's happening out here in the country, in New York City specifically. You have a homeowner who has the full rights to her home. The home was left to her by her parents. She has a deed. It's legal. It's current. It belongs to her. Ain't no lease. She's not leasing the home. She owns the home. She is the homeowner. A squatter comes in, apparently does some work to the house. Hey, I got a bill. It says I did this work to the house. And I've been here for X amount of time. Now I'm a squatter. I have rights. Now you got to go to court to kick me out. You want to change the locks on me? You want to take doors off or whatever you want to do to try and force me out? Well, check it out. I'm going to call the police on you. You're going to get arrested. I'm going to stay. How is this fair at all? As I close, I want to say this. I understand tenants having rights. Yeah. Legal tenants. If you sign a lease for X amount of time, whether it be month to month, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, you should have the right to that unless you violate it. And then when you violate it, you got to go to court and go through that process of the eviction process, through the actual, okay, you get a notice, then you got to go, okay, that's one thing. But if you just straight up barge your way into the home with no actual lease signed and you just are squatting there, you shouldn't have any rights at all. That should be treated as a home invader, and you should be dealt with in the same way that that kind of person would be dealt with. I don't really see how anything else makes any sense at all. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on squatters and squatters' rights in New York City, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, LA, anywhere in the country? Have you dealt with a thing like this? What do you think should actually happen here? Should they have rights? Should they not have rights? Should he be treated as a home invader? Should he, the guy, Brian, should he be the one in handcuffs rather than the actual homeowner? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I could never. This is part of the reason why I wouldn't really want to do an Airbnb or something like that, because I've seen some horror stories as it relates to that. People that do the short-term rental all of a sudden take over the house and say, I got rights to it. I'm not leaving. You got to kick me out, all this and that. Or they destroy your home. Or even if you just happen to leave your home for a while, I wouldn't want to be in a place where someone can break into my home, take it over, and then I got to kick them out as if they were a tenant. That is completely and utterly ridiculous. If you commit a crime, you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, you should be dealt with accordingly rather than be given all these rights as if you did everything by the book. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.